if you watch this and you're, because I'm a little embarrassed, if you watch this and you think I'm a softie, maybe so, but I'd give my life for this place. I want you to remember that.
Get them, guys.
When it comes to waterfowl and the Big Island and the Carter family story, it's quite ironic because, you know, there's only one road basically through the island from north to south. But boy, I've been down a lot of roads with a lot of different twists, turns, and angles.
This is all the Carters.
There's a lot of stories about Carters and duck hunting and Lloyd Carter, my great uncle, and I've got some pictures from the 40s and stuff of them taking people hunting, and you know, basically we just took it for granted. Really didn't know any better, just kind of thought that that's, you know, and I guess what I mean by that is we didn't know that it was such a special place for mallards. We just kind of thought that was part of being in the river bottoms.
Now this is home here, boys.
You know, we fought the river for 100 years, and then we filed Chapter 12 bankruptcy, and then we started pumping water for waterfowl over those levees that my ancestors built in 1905. And so that river, that muddy water, is what saved us. So what does duck hunting mean to you? Duck hunting's my life. Duck hunting saved my life. I've been in debt all my life, and I've been under a lot of stress all my life, and I, just like my ancestors, started drinking too much, and I've been on both sides of the fence of religious values and just everything. Sober and drunk, and so I thought we was going under in 1986 when we filed Chapter 12 bankruptcy, and then started getting my head above water, and then a big flood in 07 came and got back in debt real big, and then I started drinking more, which I swore I never would, and next thing you know, I really got tired of duck hunters and people, and as I look back now, it wasn't them, it was me. So anyway, I moved on. I kind of left what I loved, and I needed some time, and I leased everything out to Habitat Flats. Finally, one day, I showed up to get sobered up at Valley Hope because I couldn't stop drinking on my own. And I showed up, and they said, well, Mr. Carter, we got you scheduled to be here on Monday, and, you know, the day after duck season. And so I showed up 4 days early, and I did a 30-day program there, and one could say, man, what a weak person, but I tell you, alcoholism, sometimes you're not weak. Maybe you're just too busy or too stressed, or maybe it's just genetics, but it'll bite you, and you may not realize it. I don't want to come off as a puss, but this is pretty emotional. It's everything. So anyway, I thought it was kind of over for CBI. Drake, he was young, and, you know, I know he loved it, but he kind of thought he was screwed, and he went to California. I had a stepbrother out there that said, hey man, send Drake out here and I can get him a good job. And you know, so I thought there was probably more opportunity there, because Drake really wasn't into farming, and shit, I was so hard to work with. I worked better by myself. About a year later, Drake decides that he didn't like California and didn't realize how much he missed duck hunting and the people and guiding and everything, and I sobered up, and I started thinking that I like duck hunting since I quit drinking. Sounds like a country song, but it's a true story. So, I mean, passionate. I'm way more than passionate. I mean, that's why I named my son Drake Udell Carter, D-U-C, in 1995, November 10th. You know, we have to pass it on to the next generation so that it continues, just as I've done. I mean, that pass it on or lose it can be for everybody in the world, or it can be a personal subject. My love for waterfowling, without me trying to, but just by letting him tag along, passed to my son Drake.
So pass it on or lose it, to me, is passing on the heritage, the tradition, and everything that comes with duck hunting, just passing it forward to the next generation. And so my dad would be passing that down to me, and just everything that he's taught me over the course of my life about being a good human, treating people fair, being honest, hardworking. It really all just goes hand in hand with the duck hunting. My little girl, she's almost 3 now, Evelyn June Carter. I think she's gonna enjoy duck hunting with her daddy one of these days. I wish I would have got her out this year when it was a little warmer, but she's everything to me, and I want to pass the tradition and the legacy and just the history, and letting her know about her grandpa one day and how he got me into the sport. And I actually got another little boy on the way. His due date is the first day of our split, January 8th. So I'm gonna be busy in January, but I wouldn't have it any other way. It's the best thing in the world, is being a dad.
You want to ride in the car?
I didn't know when I was young that this is what I was gonna do the rest of my life. I wouldn't say I gave up hunting, but I did move to California for about 6 months, and I missed a duck season. And it wasn't until being away from it and just, I don't know if I was homesick or what, but not being able to hunt for a year, that it just drove me crazy. And right then and there, I knew that being away from it is what kind of led me to come back to it, I guess you could say. I knew as soon as I missed that duck season that year that being a guide and just taking people hunting and being out in the outdoors every day is what I wanted to do the rest of my life. Taking over Carter's Big Island, it's a big responsibility. I mean, I grew up, ever since I can remember, watching my dad, run the business and handle clients, and it always seemed like he was on top of it and he knew exactly what he was doing. I just want to make sure that I make him proud. I want to make CBI as big as possible, but I don't want to get too big to where the quality's not there, and I can't control everything. I'm not a control freak, but I do like to make sure everything's up to my standards, and it's more about giving back more than we take. It's not about shooting ducks, it's not about shooting limits every day. It's about those experiences and just being outdoors, helping people with, some people that come and hunt with us, and it's not about the ducks at all. They just want to see what we do and how we manage our property, just so they can go back to their farm and try to replicate that and have better success where they're from and where they hunt. And I plan on doing this the rest of my life, and so if you're gonna do anything, you might as well try to be the best at it. And that's kind of my goal with CBI. Just keep growing, but stay humble and pass it on or lose it.